A young woman, just 25. Her bones shattered on a torture rack. Burned alive before a silent crowd. Yet her voice was so powerful that centuries later, her name still rises from the ashes. Would you dare to discover who she was? The woman who stood against kings and shook the world with nothing but her faith? This is not an ordinary story. This is the legend of the girl who made death surrender. Iron clashes with iron. A single scream slices through the night. Chains pulled tight. Anne's arms stretched, legs trembling. Inside these cold walls, time stands still. She's just 25. But pain doesn't care about age. Ropes cut deep into her skin. Every pull, pure agony. Her bones resist, then crack. A sound that makes even soldiers turn away. Some swallow hard. But she doesn't beg. Not a word. Not a tear. The rack, a torture built to destroy. But refuses to break. A long, heavy pause. Silence thickens. This should have been the end. But for Anne, shattered bones were only the beginning. Ahead, something darker waits in the shadows. Kiachis hi joek jawan larki ko badcha si takrain par majbor kar dedi hi. And ekasi denaya main paida witi jahan surf kamoshi ka rajtha. Noble Kandan, sak kawade. Lekanas kuandar tufenda. Wo hamesha bechan ruddy ti. Harulas kulia diwarti. Or and hard diwartad nachadi ti. Wo kitabane party ti jean, ka nam lina be germda. Tariki in main, chup kar, shamaki roshni main. Har laughs, eknei sak. Dusser dart thay, and surf muscarati ti. Karano and jilka safe. Chupe hupegam. Useni kud esi sol kai. Roti or sharabjism or kun kayan hain. Surf martin ko hat kayan kawo kuda kiba karian. Us kugar wale pele fakir mesus kardi thay. Fur, unki enkan main fikre a guy. And observe sak nahi rihi ti. Wo kud apnes and dagi lag tarike se jean lagi ti. Surf pandra sol ki umar. Zindagi palat guy. Yuse zabardasti shadi karwadi guy. Ikai sashaks. Jisko us any kabi chahabi nahida. Lekanan. Wo chup ren kulia nahibani ti. Na shohar kulia, na jishi kulia. Us kiawas peliesi bitez hogai. Abwo surf kud nahi party ti. Wo dusran kobi parhadi ti. Har safa, chupkesi dusser hathmain. Us ki sakag ki terafel rihi ti. And observe parni wali nahi rihi ti. Wo kutra banchuki ti. Or a batshako admias ka nam sun lage thay. She walks out, leaving behind her husband, her children, and every shred of comfort she ever knew, and chooses the unknown. London calls to her, a city alive with danger, rumors, and restless souls. There, she finds others like her, rebels, thinkers, the brave and the desperate, and joins them, no longer hiding in the shadows. Now she reads openly. She gathers people in secret rooms, shares the forbidden words that burn inside her. She questions everything. Old rituals, sacred traditions, truths that no one else dares to touch. Every day, a new risk. Sometimes, she stands in a crowded market, preaching softly, eyes always watching. Sometimes, in a narrow alley, she slips a banned book into trembling hands. Fear walks with her, but she refuses to let it rule her. Then one night, silence fills the air. Shadows press in on every side. A knock at the door, gentle but chilling. Somewhere in the darkness, her name is whispered. Heavy footsteps echo outside her door. Anne's heart pounds, but she doesn't hide. The door swings open. Shadows step inside, faces cold and stern. They seize her arms. Cold iron shackles clamp around her wrists, and lifts her head defiant. Fear flickers for a moment, but her eyes never waver. They march her down endless corridors, leading her to a small, dim room. Accusers gather, their questions sharp, their threats sharper, and sits surrounded. But she's not afraid. She answers every attack with scripture, her words clear, her faith unshaken. She outsmarts them at every turn. Each trap they set, she breaks apart with flawless confidence. Her knowledge stuns them. Her courage unsettles even the most hardened faces in the room. Hours drag on, and stands alone, But she will not surrender. But freedom? That's only an illusion. Out there, the eyes of power are always watching. Anne's words travel further than she knows. They reach the ear of Bishop Gardiner, the king's most ruthless hound. Now, Anne isn't just a prisoner. She's become a target, and returns to the city. Braver, louder, no more hiding. The memory of shackles still aches in her wrists, but her resolve is unbreakable. She walks the same narrow streets, but this time her head is high. Her voice is everywhere. Words that once lived in shadows now burn in the open. She meets with others, merchants, mothers, outcasts, telling them what the powerful don't want heard. Every whispered truth spreads like wildfire. People lean closer. Curiosity turns to courage and risks everything. She writes letters. She shares banned books. She stands in doorways and dares to speak what no one else will. But the eyes of power never close. Bishop Gardiner's shadow grows longer, watching, waiting. One night, as her words echo through the city, she is seized again, this time with no chance for escape. No plea can save her now. Mercy is gone. With groans under pressure, ropes tighten, bones snap, and is strapped to the rack, her body stretched far beyond its limits. Pain floods every nerve, every breath. The ropes pull tighter, again and again. Another surge of force, another sharp, awful crack. But not a single plea escapes Anne's lips. Her eyes are filled with pain, but her faith stands unbroken. The executioners pause. For the first time, their hands shake. Anne's resolve is too much. Even the men paid to break her spirit are shaken by her strength. But then, others step forward. Men who feel no pity, no fear. The ones running the rack now hesitate. But the real monsters have arrived. Those determined to shatter Anne. Even their confidence begins to melt in the face of her courage. They carry her out, limp, shattered, but alive, and can no longer walk. Her body is broken, but her spirit, untouched, locked away in a cold cell. She drags a pen across trembling fingers. Blood stains the paper, but her words are pure steel. Letter after letter, and writes to friends, to family, telling them the pain, the darkness, but never regret. My soul remains untouched. She scribbles, with what strength she has left. No torture will break my faith. Outside, the city whispers her name. Inside, Anne's resolve only grows. The day is set. Her trial is coming. She cannot even stand. But already, the fire is being prepared. They want her to beg. She speaks instead, and is carried into the courtroom, broken but unbowed. Judges and priests stare down at her. They expect tears. They demand apologies. But Anne's voice is calm, sharp as a blade. She does not plead for mercy. She does not deny her faith. Every answer, every word, cuts through the silence like a knife. The courtroom grows uneasy. Her pain is visible, but her spirit is unbreakable. They throw question after question. She stands firm. Anne's courage shakes even the hardest hearts. Finally, the verdict falls. Death by fire. But in that moment, even the most powerful in the room feel a shiver of doubt. A woman so strong, so unbreakable. Could killing her really silence her truth? Her courage is contagious. In the shadows of the king's court, whispers begin to spread. If Anne's flames rise, how many others will dare to speak? Smithfield waits. So does the crowd, and is carried through the city, her broken body held upright by others. She cannot walk, but her presence fills the square. People stare in silence. Some watch with fear, others with awe, even tied to a chair, and looks unafraid. Her eyes search the faces around her. No hate, only a fierce, quiet strength. The stake stands tall. Chains are wrapped around her. She sits, unable to move, but towering over every doubt in the crowd. The executioner lights the fire. Wood crackles, smoke rises. Anne's voice breaks the hush. Soft at first, then strong. She prays. She sings. Her words ride the flames. The fire climbs higher, but her courage climbs even higher. She burns, but something survives. Anne's voice does not die in the flames. Her last prayers echo through the square, and out into the world. The crowd stands in stunned silence. Some weep, some quietly turn away. But none can forget what they saw. Her letters, her words, are smuggled from prison, read in secret, passed from hand to hand, spoken in whispers, spreading like a spark through Europe. The powerful tremble at her memory. They know that one voice can start a fire no chains can hold. For the oppressed, for those who still dream of freedom. Anne's courage becomes a beacon. Her pain, their hope. Years turn into decades. Decades into centuries. Still, wherever freedom fights against the darkness, Anne's name is whispered, a story that refuses to turn to ash.